Right, so I will test the sound first. I hope everything is doing good here, and yeah, thanks for joining the virtual class. And I realized quite a lot of you are already here, about 142 of you. Alright, so okay, let me adjust a little bit. Okay, yeah, today we're going to discuss this SBP 2018 tri paper, and I already went through this paper. I find got some part actually I got a different answer with the marking scheme, but anyways we will go through together and then I will explain to you my logic as usual. Alright, so, and then I see, is there any comment I want to reply? Yeah, I see there's a lot of chat for you guys, so I will just ignore the chat first. Yeah, later if you have any question, please post on the live chat over there. So yeah, let's start about the question number 1 here. Alright, so yeah, for this question number 1 here, you basically, table 1 actually show 3 equations of the straight line A, B, C, D, and E, F, and then you have the equation which straight line did not intersect to each other. So when the question says did not intersect to each other means what? This did not intersect only one possibility, which is 2 lines must be parallel. If they are not parallel, they are slightly off to each other. At the end, they will actually intersect each other. So only one way to show that both lines does not intersect, which is they must be parallel. So in order to know they will be parallel, you know actually you need to know their gradient, right? So I will find out the gradient of each of the line here. So in order to find gradient, what you need to do here? In order to find gradient, you need to know the equation y equals to mx plus c, right? Because m represents gradient. So I will change all the 3 equations here into y equals to mx plus c. Alright, so the first one, if I rearrange this equation, I should have okay, 4y, so I should have y equals to, y will equals to move the 3 over 4x and then minus 7 over 4. Alright, this one already y equals to mx plus c for the line CD. For the line EF over here, I rearrange this one, I should have 2y equals to 3, I make it into the y lah. So y equals to 3 over 2x minus 17 over 2. So therefore, the gradient for lines AB and CD, you realize both of them have the same gradient 3 over 4. And the line EF actually have the gradient 3 over 2. So because of this, you know AB does not intersect with CD. AB does not intersect with the line CD. Alright, give your reason. Okay, I will say because both AB and CD are parallel, because both line AB and CD are having same gradient and they are parallel. Yeah, so you can just write whatever thing you think is makes sense, then you can do like that. Alright, so let's move on to the next question. It's given that a variable, oh my god, I'm blocking the question, so let me move myself to the other side maybe, because I just do not want to block the question. Alright, so okay, it's given that the variable x and y are related by the equation x minus py equals to qxy. So where p and q are constant, if the vertical axis is represented by 1 over y, explain how p and q could be determined. Alright, so okay, so in this question, you know it's a linear law. So linear law, they give you one very important information is the y-intercept. Vertical intercept will be 1 over y. So what I will do is I want to make 1 over y as a subject here, because you know about linear law. For linear law, we have y equals to mx plus c. And my x should be big X plus c. Well, over here, because of linear law, you know your y and x can be anything, right? So in this case, the question tells you your y is 1 over y. Your m and x can be anything else. So what I will do over here is I want to make 1 over y as a subject for this equation. So therefore, I have x minus py equals to qxy. So in order to have a 1 over y here, my first logic is maybe I divide y for the whole equation, because I see there's 2y there. So I have xy, y and y cut, x over y minus p equals to qx. Alright, so I kind of see the 1 over y actually is hidden over here. So I will need to divide x for the whole equation here. So therefore, you will see I actually dividing x here, I dividing x here, I dividing x here. The purpose of doing this because I want to get the 1 over y. And the whole thing, this whole thing over here, I will actually move to the other side. The p over x here, I will actually move to the other side. So we will plus p over x plus q. So you realize I have the 1 over y over here. So, and if I were to make this one into y equals to mx plus c, this one should be 1 over y equals to p, 1 over x plus q. So over here, from this equation, you can guess that p actually is my gradient. And my q over here will be my 1 over y intercept. And yeah, because over here, you check the marking scheme actually says q will be a y-intercept. But in this case, you are no longer y, it's 1 over y, so I prefer to write as a 1 over y-intercept. Yeah, this is how I write normally. Alright, so any questions so far? Yeah, I actually see some students ask me to do about the modern math too. I hope I have time for modern math, because your modern math is on coming Friday, right? It's not mistaken. Yeah, so let's see how about the modern math. It's on coming Thursday, not Friday. Maybe I remember the time wrongly. Alright, so let's move on to the question. Okay, what time on Thursday for your modern math? So if I do, maybe it will be one day before is on Wednesday. Thursday is for both papers, isn't it? Paper 1 and paper 2. How x over y become 1 over y? Okay, so let's explain. Yeah, because x over y, in order to get 1 over y, right, I divide x for every single one. You imagine x over y. If I divide x here, x and x I simplify, I left 1, right? So at the end, I got 1 over y here. I hope you can understand this. And I realize you can't see my mouse cursor over here, isn't it? Let me just do a quick fix over here. Yeah, because if I have the mouse cursor, it will be easier for all of you. Yeah, last time I remember I do something like, yeah, should be this one. Let's see, do I have the mouse cursor over here or not? Oh my god, the mouse cursor is totally being ignored. Okay, give me few seconds. I try to set up the mouse cursor thing over here. because I actually hope you can see the mouse cursor on my screen. Let me on some music for you. Yeah, just come back in 2 minutes. Some technical issue. I hope it's actually reconnect back. Yeah, so right now you should be able to see my mouse cursor over here, isn't it? I reconnect the thing. Okay. I realize it's actually the same. How come? Okay, never mind, I just give up about the mouse cursor. Maybe I fix it tomorrow. Let me off the song. Yeah, because I actually hope when I live streaming can have the mouse cursor, then at least you can see actually what thing I'm pointing at. Right? It seems like yeah, it seems like it doesn't work that way. Yeah. Because actually I have the mouse cursor above here, but then it's actually gone. It's just gone for some reason. Okay, it's fine. Maybe I don't need the mouse cursor. Alright, so okay. Based on the above information, the relationship between the P and Q is defined by the set of ordered pair. So over here, let's say my P, I actually do my P over here. Let's say this one, I call it P. You can see I have -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. I find different value here. And then this is my value Q. Q, I should have the 0, 1, and 2. 3 different value here. Okay, because of the order pair over here, this order pair here, you can know that actually the -2 is connecting to 2, right? And 2 also connecting to 2. -2 will go to 2. 2 will go to 2. So, and then for -1 will go to 1, and 1 will go to 1 also, right? So we basically pairing like this. And then lastly, the 0 will go into the 0 here. So from here, you should at least know what is happening here. So first thing they ask about what is the type of relation between P and Q, because you can realize a lot of P value go into the one Q value, isn't it? So this one is called many to one type. Right, it's called many to one. Using the function notation, write the relation between the set P and set Q. So you can realize -2 will become 2, +2 will become 2, and -1 will become 1, 1 will become 1. So you realize this is modulus, isn't it? So therefore fx will equals to modulus x. Or you want to write in the set notation, you can do 2 dot and 1 arrow like this, equals to modulus x. Yeah, I guess both of these should be fine. Because if you modulus the x value, you should get the things correctly. Alright, so Yeah, this is how to do this 2-mark question. It shouldn't be too hard. Can we use px instead of fx? Yeah, in this case you can do px. Yes, you can do px. Yeah, because it's still a function. Yeah, fx equals, you cannot do fx equals to negative x, because if fx equals to negative x, when you got positive 2, right, when the positive 2 will go to the negative 2, but in fact the positive 2 still go to the positive 2, right? So you cannot write fx equal to negative x, which is wrong. Alright, so let me move on to number 4. Okay, find the values of m and n. This one you just need to solve the modulus question, and then the question tell you m value is bigger than the n value. So what I will do over here is, I know that modulus fx plus 1 is equals to 11. So I just need to solve this equation. I should get 2 different x value, because when I expand the modulus here, the other side actually will get plus minus 11. So therefore, I have 2 choice here. 2x plus 1 equals to 11, or 2x plus 1 equals to negative 11. So therefore, in this case, minus 1 is 10, x equals to 5. This one minus 1 is negative 12, x equals to negative 6. And because m is bigger than n, so my m should be 5, my n should be negative 6. Alright, this kind of modulus question should be quite easy. You just need to understand when you move the modulus sign to the other side, you will get the plus minus d. Alright, so let me move on to next question, number 5 here. Alright, given that 3 equals to 2 power of y, 8 equals to 3 power of x, find the value of xy. So in order to find the value of xy over here, yeah, you know, basically you need to substitute into each other. Alright, so what I will do over here is, since I know 8 equals to 3 power of x, and what is my 3 here? My 3 is actually 2 power of y, right? Yeah, so because 3 equals to 2 power of y, I assume this one is 1, I assume this one is 2, and then I substitute 1 into 2. So therefore, I will get what happened here. So 8 I know is 2 power of 3. This one I multiply, I know this is 2 power of xy. So therefore, I know xy equals to 3. Alright, quite easy if you can understand about this substitution methods. This kind of question considered very easy. Okay, so let me move on to the next one. Alright, so okay, for any questions? What's this question look hard but very easy? Yeah, this question actually is quite easy if you can understand it. Alright, so let's move on to number 6. The populations of number in Kuala Langat, Selangor at 1st of January 2000 was this amount. Okay, first day of 2000, year 2000. So the population is expected to increase at the annual rate 1%. After t years, the equation of population. So you have one equation here, and this equation actually represents the population. So they want to know the population after 10 years. Because 2000, from 2000 go into 2010. So that means the t value should be 10. So in order to get the population, you just need to plug in the 10 into your t here. Then you should be easily get the correct answer. So 204,255 multiply 1.01 power of 10. So you should get 22624. Or you want to round off, become 25 also can. Yeah, this one should be your answer. So find the year when the population have 251,000. So that's mean you know P should equals to 251000, right? So I sub in my P equation, 204,255, 1.01 power of T equals to 251,000. Then I know I need to solve this one. And the question is write more than, right? So I shouldn't write equal. I should change it to more than. So I change it to more than. So the first thing is I solve this equation. First power of T, the value, I'm going to move to the other side. It becomes divide here. Alright, and then what I do next is I will add the log for both sides. So therefore, log 1.01 power of t will be bigger than log, this one actually you will get a very small number, 25100 divided by 204255, 1.22886 maybe. Yeah, try to get more decimal to get more accurate. Then log tell you what t value you can move to the other side, right? So it's t, this one is log 1.01. So bigger than, okay, this one will remain first lah, 1.22886. So therefore t will be bigger than log 1.22886 over log 1.01. Then you type in the calculator, you should get the correct answer, divided by log 1.01. So yeah, your t should be bigger than 20.7. So t should be, yeah, the nearest one should be around 21. So 21, then because it's from year 2000, isn't it? So plus 21 year, basically you understand it should be 2021, right? So your year should be 2021. Yeah, I see some question here. When do I put more than equals to? Okay, because the question said more than, right? So I actually put more than. If you want to put more than an equal, if you see the word at least, then you can put more than an equal. Why not 9? Oh, why the value of t is 10 is not 9? Is very obvious from year 2000 to 2000. Okay, because maybe it's because it's the first day of January. It's the first day of January. So yeah, because some student might think this value could be 9, what? But because in the first day of January, right? If we go until the first day January of 2001, the between here the duration is 1 year, right? You imagine from 1 year, so actually you already passed by 365 days, right? So it's 1 year. So therefore, when 2000 to 2001 is considered 1, then from 2000 to 2010 is considered 10 years. T should be equals to 10. Alright. How can you know that you must use the log to solve the questions? Okay, when will I add the log over here? When my power is unknown. So example, I have 2 power of x equals to 10. So in order to solve this simple equation, but because my power here is unknown, the only way to solve it is actually using the log. So I will use the log. Okay, normally in 2 conditions, I will always use the log. First thing is like what I say, when the thing I want to find, the x, y, a, b, c, or whatsoever, whatever I want to find the unknown, I'm going to call it unknown, is on the power, I will always add the log for it. And then the second reason I will use the log when I think the power is decimal, then I will use the log. Right. Okay, so let's move on to number 7, permutation. Okay, so diagram 2 show the sitting location of the van with a seat number attached to each chair. So you can see the chair, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, right? Just in case you cannot see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so find the number of seat arrangement if there are 8 passengers. You have 10 seats. The 8th passenger you want to do is just 10 PA. It's very straightforward, this one. So you should get the value is 1814400. Alright, so there are 10 passengers which include a couple of husband and wife which are seated on a chair number 3 and number 4. So basically right now, the husband and wife going to sit on number 3 and number 4. So what I will do is, because they doesn't specific like the husband should sit on 3 or 4, so in this case, I will just assume the husband and wife, both of them can swap place. So it will be 2 factorial. 2 factorial is for husband and wife which can swap place, right? And then because you have 10 passenger, right? So after you minus a husband and wife, you have another 8 more passenger. The 8 passenger going to swap place among the 8 seat over there. So it's just 8 factorial. So it's just 2 factorial times 8 factorial. You should get the value 80640. Okay, so I see a lot of students ask me why this question they cannot use C and they have to use P. Okay, let me explain. Let me explain and give you some example. Okay, imagine if I use a car example is easier. Imagine this is a car. You only have the seat like A, B, and then C, D, right? Okay, so let's say this is the driver seat. A is the driver seat. Right, so you imagine like 4 of you, if go into the car. Okay, so if you go into the car, you sit in the A, B, C, D. If some of you, of your friend, actually want to change place with you, is the people who sit in the car still look like the same or not? You imagine if I go into the car with you, so suddenly I want to swap place with you. So let's say you're sitting on the seat A, I sit on the seat B. So me and you, if we swap place, so you can realize the place we sit is no longer the same, right? So in this case, it means the arrangement actually matter. So in this case, you imagine you have 8 passengers. If any of the passenger they swap place, their seat in the car actually look totally different, right? So whenever you think arrangement matter, then you have to use P. You cannot use C. Okay, so yeah, so therefore I hope you can understand. Okay, yeah, I see actually some comment over there. Most of the time, if relate about human, we always will use the P, but it's not all the time, most of the time. So you have to think like very common questions in SPM is like, okay, let's say in your class you want to sit in a row to take the photo. You have the person A, B, C, D. So if A, B, C, D want to sit in the row to take a photo, you imagine if person A and person B they swap place, does the photo still look the same? If the A and B they swap place already, you've realized there's a new photo, then is the arrangement important? Then you have to use the permutation. If you imagine if A, B, C, D, if A and D they swap place already, you take out the first photo is take A, B, C, D one. The second photo is taking A and D swap place one. You realize 2 is a different photo, right? If you realize 2 is a different photo, that means the arrangement matter. So in this van case is the same also. You imagine if the 8 passenger go into the van already, they already sit in a specific place, you take a photo. You saw some of the 8 passenger that swap place, you take another photo. You realize both photo is different, right? If you realize both photo is different, that means you have to use permutation. Alright, so I hope. Okay, how about example for C? Okay, so you want to know about the example for C. Normally for C, let's say I relate to human. I have 10 men and 8 women here. Alright, so let's say I want to choose 2 men and 2 women to join the badminton competition. So if I want to select them to join the badminton competition, right? So, and then I say must be 2 men and 2 women. So that means from 10 men here, I want to choose 2 men. From 8 women here, I will choose 2 women to join the badminton competition. So in this case, no matter how I select the 2 men, the result is still the same. Because I do not need to arrange the 2 men. I just need to choose the 2 men to join the badminton competition or any other competition, it doesn't matter. So it's a bit tricky, but then you're trying to understand. Actually, it's not too hard to understand. Unless these 10 men and 8 women, they have a specific name in that example, then maybe you have to use P. But in this case, if you want to choose or if I want to select someone to join a competition or join some event, you have to use C. Because the arrangement in that case, it doesn't matter. And when to use multiply and when to use plus. Alright, so when we use multiply, is when they are in the same case. So you realize this is the same cases, right? Because over here, they say they want to select 2 men and 2 women. This one is one case. Because one case, they need to select 4 of them. So when the same case, I always use multiply. So let's say they want to select 4 people here. It's 3 men and 1 woman. This one is still 4 person, right? It's considered as one case. So I will use multiply. So I will do something like 10C3 multiply 8C1. Okay, when to use multiply? Maybe they say they want to select 4 person or 5 person to join the competition. Yeah, you see, or 5 people. So yeah, so then I will use plus lah. So maybe they say they want to select 4 men or 5 girl or 5 women. So I will do something like 10C4 plus 8C5. So you can see, because this one is considered one case, because they want to select 4 men, right? Okay, so if I select 4 men, I already complete one case. Or 5 women. So 5 women will be another case, right? So I will use plus. It's all the same cases one. I will use multiply. I hope I do answer your question. So let me move on to next one. So if you still like very blur about what is permutation and combination, yeah, please go to check out some video. Not necessarily my video. There's a lot of video online actually explain about permutation and combination. Yeah, please go check it out. Alright, so yeah, for the next question, the probability of the team A and team B is qualified to a final of Malaysian Cups 2018 are 1/3 and 2/5 respectively. Find the probability if both teams are qualified. So both teams are qualified. That means I must say team A is qualified and team B also qualified, right? So therefore it's 1/3 times 2/5. Very easy. This one is just 2/50. Okay, at least one team is qualified. At least one team is qualified. When I see words at least, I will use the 1 to minus the probability I do not want. Okay, this is a faster way of doing this. So I will use 1 to minus the probability I do not want. So at least one team is qualified. So what I do not want here? I do not want both teams also disqualified. So therefore, I do not want team A disqualified and team B disqualified. So I will use 1 to minus. A disqualified will be 2/3. B disqualified will be 3/5. So if I minus them, I should be able to get 3/5. Right, it's quite simple. If you cannot understand this probability question, you want to know, you want to do the tree diagram. Yeah, the tree diagram maybe will help you understand a bit better. So this answer is 2/15. This answer is 3/5. Okay, maybe let me use a tree diagram to roughly explain to you. Alright, so if I use a tree diagram over here, so what I will do is okay, this one is for team A. Team A qualified, team A not qualified. So it will be 1/3 and 2/3. Then this one is for team B. So team B qualified, team B not qualified will be 2/5 and 3/5 or 5. So this one is the same. Team B qualified, team B not qualified, 2/5 and 3/5. Alright, so from here, if they want both teams qualified, I will find team A qualified and team B qualified, right? So therefore, I will use 1/3 multiply with 2/5. Alright, then for the part B, at least one team is qualified. At least one team is qualified. If I do A and B, this one is at least one team qualified, right? This one both team qualified. If I do this one, which is A and B prime, so you realize A and B prime also at least one team qualified, right? If I do this one, A prime and B also team B qualified, right? At least one team qualified. If I do this one, A prime and B prime, this one also both also disqualified, right? This one does not fulfill the first condition, at least one qualified. So you can either use the 1 to minus this one or you plus everything here. So you can choose one of it. Both also should give you the answer 3/5. If you do not know why you will get 3/5, maybe you should try to write it down and then simplify it. You should be able to get a correct answer. In this case, you cannot use the property A or B. Yeah, you cannot use that case in A or B equal to probability A plus probability B minus A and B. Yeah, we don't do that. Yeah, I think use the tree diagram is easier than you use the Venn diagram. Venn diagram, especially if you want to use a set. Set is always my last choice because it's very confusing. Yeah, whenever you see the word at least, you always need to use the 1 to minus the probability you do not want. Yeah, the probability and combination actually is related to probability when you go to the SPM. They are in the same chapter. So, or you study A-levels, they are highly related. But in SPM, not so much. Unless the K-bar, they can actually link them together. Alright, so yeah, so you're trying to plus them together, you will get correct. So this question is very easy. So I'm going to move on to the next question. Then when can we use the method the Truman Ho mentioned? Okay, for the formula over there, normally we when can use you need to understand when actually using this formula. Probability for A or B is the probability A plus probability B minus probability A intercept B, right? We use this one when we think that A and B, they have the intercept, and the question want to find A union B. And realize the question want to find A union B, because in order to find A union B means you want to find the whole thing, right? So therefore you will use the A, you use the plus the B minus the middle, the intercept part, A intercept B. So therefore you want to find that they have some things in middle here. So in this case, if I want to use this one, let me think, is it possible? It's not possible. Unless A and B, they share something in common, then we will use the set formula. But in this case, they doesn't share the things in common. So yeah, so in this case, I don't think this formula is good for this question. Yeah, and when can you this one? Okay, let me think of any example we can use this one. Okay, example, since you asked me about the example, let's say I say A is the number for 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, example. So let's say B will be 2 4 6. Example, T will be even number. Alright, so I want to find the A union B. I will find a number of A union B, example. Or I want to find the probability of A union B, since you asked about probability. Or I want to find a A or B. Probability of A or B. Or actually represented by union. So in this case, because A and B, they do have intercept, right? You realize they intercept at this value and they intercept at this value, isn't it? Yeah, so you can do, in this case, if they do have intercept, then you can do the probability A plus probability B and so on. Of course, you want to know what is the number of sample space here. Yeah, it's 1 2 3 4 5 6, it will be 6 . So in this case, you can actually do the probability thing . So whenever you find that they have intercept and you want to find the A union B, something like this, then you use the formula. Alright, so if you want to understand better about this one, maybe you can go to check out online . So it's very hard for me to subtly think out some example for this one, but not so common in SPM. I do see 1 or 2 in the past year, but it's not so common. So whenever you find out they have intercept, maybe you can try out this one. And make sure you know they actually want to find the union. Then only you do that. Okay, I see a lot of probability questions. So let me finish this paper first. If not, I don't think I can finish on time. So yeah, a lot of out of topic math knowledge you can ask me after I finish. Alright, so solve this equation. So we're going to solve this equation. So the first thing is I see both also have 4. I factorize out the 4 here. So this is sin x plus cos x. So equals to 1 over cos x minus sin x. Then the next thing I will do is I will multiply them. But this one, sin x plus cos x, I write cos x plus sin x lah. Because it's the same, right? And then this one is cos x minus sin x. Equals to 1. Because why I do that? Because it's easier for me to actually explain the formula. A plus b, a minus b, you get a square minus b square, right? Alright, and then the 4 I will going to move to the other side. It becomes 1 over 4 here. And cos square minus sin square, you know this is cos 2x, right? Alright, then this is cos 2x, then I will move the cos to the other side. The shift cos 1 over 4. So you get 75.52. And then cos, this is positive, right? Cos will get positive in first and last. First is theta, last is 360 minus theta, right? Then I will use 360 minus my answer here. It's 284.48. And then I will move on because this is the range for x, right? I want to know for 2x how far I should find my angle here, over here. Then I will multiply 2 for everything. I get 0. 0 times 2 is 0, right? This one times 2 is 720. That means I want to find my angle up to 720, then only I stop for 2x. So what happened here is I will continue find. The next one will be 75.52 plus 360. So this one should be 435.52. And then this one will be 284.48 plus 360. So in order to keep on wanting to find the angle, you just find the ordinary angle, you plus 360 lah. Then in order to find the x, you basically divide 2 for every single one. So 75.52 divided by 2. The first one is 37.76. And the next one, 284.48 divided by 2. You should get 142.24. And 435.52 divided by 2. So you should get 217.76. And last one, 644.48 divided by 2. You should get 322.24. Right, so you realize all my 4 answers also within 360 because the question actually want to find an answer between 0 to 360. So this is how you do it. Okay, if a lot of students like lost halfway here, you need to go check out what is cos square x minus sin square x. This is the formula for cos 2x. Because cos 2x will equals to cos 2x will equals to cos square x minus sin square x. First thing, this is the formula given in Trigo. So this is just the formula. So I apply the formula and then I move the 4 to the other side. This is the reason why I get 1 over 4. So yeah, so I hope you can understand. If you can't, then I will also can't help. This is quite simple. The answer can be bigger than 360. Okay, this one is a bit tricky here because a lot of students realize how come I can get the answer more than 360. But then you realize the range given here, they say that x must be between 0 to 360. But the range doesn't tell you about 2x. So therefore, the question asks you to find about 2x here. So what I will do is I want to find the range of 2x. So how to find the range of 2x? I multiply 2 for the whole range. So therefore you realize this is how I get my second range. It's up to 720. So the range for 2x can up to 720. And realize my answer over here is from 75 to 640, right? It's still within 720. And you realize my final answer, which is my x here, after I divide 2, all my answer is between 0 to 360. So you need to understand, yeah, this is x or 2x. Okay. Okay, so I will just move on to the next question. Okay, so this question is a bit hard because you're not used to the half angle. Again, maybe even some reference book don't have the formula for half angle. So I teach you how to get a formula for half angle. No matter you want to get a half angle for sine, cos, or tangent, so what you need to do over here is always remember cos 2x. So just now I tell you cos 2x equals to cos square x minus sine square x, right? But if you're familiar about trigo, you should know trigo have 3 different formula. So the other one is 1 minus 2 sine square x. The other one will be 2 cos square x minus 1. Alright, so both of these 3 formula is for cos 2x. So depend which half angle you want to find. If today I want to find a half angle for sine, then I will choose the second one. If I want to find a half angle for cos, then I will choose the third one. Okay, and then you want to find a half angle for tangent, you need to use a half angle of sine minus the half angle of cos. Alright, so therefore, okay, in this case I will ignore about cos thing first. But the concept is still the same, so I focus on the sine one. Okay, so how do I get a half angle here? I show you how to get a half angle. I will let my x equals to theta over 2. Then I substitute into my x here. So cos 2 theta over 2 equals to 1 minus 2 sine square theta over 2. Okay, 2 and 2 simplify, I actually get a cos theta here. And then will equals to 1 minus, this one is 2 sine square theta over 2. So right now I want to make my sine theta over 2 as a subject. So in order to solve this one, so I will move around very fast. So this is sine theta over 2. I move the cos to the other side over cos theta. I move the 2 to the other side, divide by 2. I move the square to the other side, I get square root. Alright, so this, you're just trying to make the sine theta over 2 as a subject. So this is how I move it. Okay, so once you get this one, you want to find theta over 2 is very easy. You already know cos theta equal to negative p, right? Sub into here. Square root 1 minus negative p over 2. So equals to square root 1 plus p over 2. Alright, it's not too hard, but then you need to know how to simplify the equation. Then it should be easy for you. How you know we have to use the formula? Okay, okay. So a lot of students lost here. Okay, let me just simplify this formula step by step. I move the negative 2 sine theta to the other side. 2 sine square theta over 2. I move the cos to the other side. 1 minus cos theta. And then I divided 2 for both sides. So I get 1 minus cos theta over 2. And then this square, I square root both sides. Then square and square root I cancel. I get square theta over 2 equals to square root 1 minus cos theta over 2. Alright. And I see some students ask me, how do I know I have to use this formula? Because this is the only way to get the sine theta over 2. Whenever in your SPM Add Math, you see half angle is always come from the formula of cos 2x. This is how you get a half angle, because half angle formula is not given. So you better work out the half angle content by yourself. I do believe I do make a half angle video before. I can't remember already, but then whenever you see half angle, remember the formula you need to work out yourself. And then how you work out the half angle formula, always from the cos 2x. Just like that. You remember like this, it will going to help you a lot. Okay, so one of the very important key is, in order to make it half angle, you need to make x equal to theta over 2. Yeah, this is important tips. Okay, so make sure you remember this tip. Okay, then you should be fine. And okay, my computer lag again. Okay, I hope everything is good now. Okay. Okay, so let me move on to question 11 because today we move very slow. Okay, PQR are collinear is given that QP and QR is that one, and then the question asks you to find PR. Alright, so in order to find the PR over here, okay, yeah, this is how we find the PR. PR will equals to PQ plus QR. Okay, if you do not know why the PR can equals to PQ plus QR, you please go to find out the basic of vector. So I mentioned many times, as long as the middle letter is the same, you imagine they can simplify. Then you left P and R, isn't it? So this is how I get the PQ plus QR because I want to get PR. Then I have the PQ, but then this is QP, right? I want to change to PQ. So I have to add a negative for it. So become 3a minus 2b, right? So this one will be 3a minus 2b. And then I have QR. QR will be 9a minus 6b. So a and a I plus 12a. B and b I plus minus 8b. Done. This is the PR in terms of a and b. And they ask about PQ in terms of PR. Because the question tell me PQR is collinear, right? So therefore, I can say PQ equals to the lambda of PR. Because they are collinear, I can always do that. And you might ask, how about PQ equals to lambda QR? You can do that also, but then the question want PQ in terms of PR, so I better use back the PR rather than QR. Alright, so PQ I already have, which is 3a minus 2b. Because right now I need to find a lambda. The lambda of PR will be 12a minus 8b. Okay, so then I can comparing a. 3a equals to lambda of 12a. So therefore, you know the lambda should equals to 3a over 12a, right? 1 over 4. So I sub in the 1 over 4 here. Then I know PQ equals to 1 over 4 of PR. That's all. This is vector and should be very easy. Alright, so yeah, for collinear question, you better always use lambda. If you don't like lambda, of course you can use k or any other letter, but lambda is the letter I always use. Lambda just represents by k or p or any other letter you like. Alright, so yeah, basically is okay. So why 3a will equal to this one? So basically what I'm doing is I comparing a. That means I take the a for both sides. A for this side is 3a. A for this side will be lambda 12a, right? If I comparing b, I will do the same thing. If I comparing b, you realize this side is negative 2, right? This side will be like this. So I will do negative 2 equals to the lambda negative a. Because b over here is negative a, right? So lambda is still equals to 1 over 4. Yeah, you can comparing a or b, it doesn't matter. So why do we need to put the lambda symbol? Okay, if you do not know why you need to put the lambda, you really need to revise a bit on vector. Okay, lambda over here is just represented by the ratio. So that means if PQ ratio is 1, PQ ratio will be, QR is 3, let's say example. Then I can say PQ is 1 over 3 of QR. Okay, so this is the value of so-called lambda, or sometimes they can use the mu. M or mu. So yeah, so therefore if you want to find some like PQ and PR, PQ is lambda PR will be 1 over 4 of PR. So this is the value of lambda. You can always do the lambda whenever you see the word collinear or you see the word parallel. Then you can always use the lambda. Yeah, lambda is just represent their ratio in a constant value. It's nothing very special about the lambda. Alright, let me move on to the next question. The point A is the y-intercept of the curve. Alright, so yeah, find the gradient of the tangent to the curve at a point A. Alright, so do I have the point A? Oh, point A is a y-intercept. Y-intercept very easy to find. Y-intercept means what? Y-intercept always mean x equals to 0. So I sub the x equals to 0, I get y equals to 1. Okay, so therefore my coordinate A will be 0, 1. If you do not know y is 1, you just make x equal to 0 for the whole equation. You just sub in your x equals to 0 into this equation. You should get 1. Alright, so therefore they ask me to find the gradient of tangent. Gradient of tangent just mean dy dx. You don't being like frightened by the fancy word. Yeah, just mean dy dx. So I will differentiate the equation. Dy dx is basically 6x minus 12. Alright, so when x equals to 0, I will sub in the 0 into here. When x equals to 0, my dy dx is equals to negative 12. Okay, very easy. Find the equation of normal. Okay, equation of normal, that means you need to find the gradient of normal. Gradient of normal is negative 1 over gradient of tangent. So I find the gradient of normal first. So it will be negative 1. Gradient of tangent will be negative 12, right? Over negative 12. So gradient of normal is 1 over 12. Then I want to find the equation of normal. I form the equation y minus y1 over m, x minus x1. Then at the point A, right, I sub in my point A here. So y minus 1 equals to 1 over 12, x minus 0. So y equals to 1 over 12x plus 1. Alright, this is how I get the equation of normal. It's basically very easy. You just need to know normal basically will be 90 degrees to tangent. So you have to use the m1, m2 equal to negative 1 formula. If you have no idea how to get 6x minus 12, you should go to revise about differentiation. You can go check out some differentiation video. Yeah, this is how we do the differentiation. Yeah, you can use y equals to mx plus c also in order to form the last equation. Sub in the gradient, sub in the coordinate. Alright, question number 13 here. Alright. Yeah, so about tomorrow, if possible, tomorrow I will do the live streaming for SBP paper 2. Okay. The diagram 3 shows the 5 rectangular plot with the same size and has a planted with the 5 type of vegetable. So Riza plans to fence all the plot using 68 meters of the barbed wire. So if A represents the whole area of his orchid, so find dA dx. So basically, this is the area they want to fence. They want to fence all this area. So, and then I tell you all the fence, the total length of all the fence is basically will be 68, right? It's given, it's 68. So what I will do here is, I know this is how many x here. I have so many x here. So you see I actually have 10x. 1y, here also all the y, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10x plus 6y. That means all the length here I plus together should equal to 68. And then I need to find the area of the whole area, right? That means I need to plus 5 rectangle. So each of the rectangle area will be xy. So I have 5 of it. So area should equal to 5xy. So in order to solve this equation, first thing is I need to make y as a subject, because what? You realize dA dx here, you realize if without y, isn't it? If without y, it means you need to make y as a subject in your equation and then substitute into each other, then the y will automatically missing. So I'm going to show you what do I means here. So over here, let me just write a equals to 5xy here. So if I make y as a subject, this one should be 68 minus 10x over 6, right? So of course I can simplify by divide 2 lah. 34 minus 5x over 3. Alright, so I will substitute the y into the a here. So my y will gone. So I will have the whole equation in a and x only. So my a should equals to 170x over 3 minus 25x squared over 3. Alright, this is my substitution. So I just like simplify the equation. Alright, so then I will substitute. Then the next thing I will do is I will do dA dx, which I simplified. I should get 170 over 3 minus 50x over 3. Alright, so I solved the first part. And then find the maximum area of each plot. They does not want to find the maximum area for the whole area. They just want to know each small spot here. Okay, so what I will do is maximum area means what? dA dx is equals to 0. Okay, maximum area means dA dx equals to 0. So I make this one equal to 0. Then I will solve this one to find my x value. So 50 over 3x equals to 170 over 3. 3 and 3 cut, 0 and 0 cut, x equals to 17 over 5. Then I want to get my y value by substitute the x value back into the y equation here. So my y should equals to 34 minus 5, 17 over 5 over 3. So y equals to 17 over 3. Okay, after I got my x and y, they want to know what is the maximum area for each plot. So the maximum area will equal to x times y, right? X is 17 over 5, y is 17 over 3. Then you will get 289 over 15. This is how to find the maximum area for each plot. Alright, so yeah, I see some questions here. Yeah, this question is a little bit tricky, but shouldn't be too hard over here. Why 50x over 3? The 50x over 3 I just move to the other side, then I just solve it. The 50x over 3 is because I differentiate the a. For SBP paper 2 should be tomorrow 8 PM also. So if you want to see the picture is over here. Okay, if you don't have any important questions, I'm going to move on to the next one. Why a equals to 5xy? Because what does a represent? The question tells you a represents by the whole area, right? So how to get the whole area? We know one of the black spot here is xy, isn't it? So we have how many xy? We have another xy, another xy, another xy, another xy. So all the xy you plus together, you should get 5xy. 5xy is just the total area. Alright, so I hope you can understand about what is 5xy. Right, let me move on. Okay, it's given that fx equals to mgx plus 3. Okay, still have some questions over here. How we know make y a subject? Because the question asks you to do dA dx. You realize dA dx, what letter missing? The y missing, right? In order to make the y missing, that means you need to substitute y into the y. If you substitute y into the y, you don't have any y already, right? So your equation only left a and x. Okay, I hope you can understand that. If B say minimum area is the same also. Also dA dx equals to 0, even is minimum area. Okay, I'm not going to repeat the question. If you miss it, maybe you can rewatch it later because the video we're going to upload to YouTube later. Okay, so yeah, minimum area you're also doing back the same thing. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, it's given that fx equals to mgx plus 3, and then, okay, what is this? This one is mean differentiate fx. When you see one dot here, or we call it prime, that means it's differentiate fx. So in order to solve this question, the easiest way is in order to get the fx from the differentiation, version of fx, I will just integrate f prime x. So because when I integrate f prime x, I actually get back the fx. Okay, this is the logic. Alright, so I will integrate 2m. So if I integrate 2m, what happens here is this one will give me 2mx plus c, right? Because it's dx here. Alright, so therefore I will just do some comparing later. So I will rearrange like 2mx, right? I will make it m2x plus c. So by comparing here, you realize your gx should be 2x and your c should be 3. So therefore, I got my gx is equals to 2x. Alright, so and then the part B, they ask about integrate this one. So they want to integrate my m2x plus 3 from 0 to 1, and then dx will equals to 10. Then I solve this equation. So therefore, let's integrate m2x. So this one will give me 2mx squared over 2 plus 3x 0 to 1 equals to 10. 2 and 2 I simplify. So I basically, this is 1 plus 3. I mean 1m plus 3, sorry. 1m plus 3 equals to 10. Because 0 sub in everything, you will get 0. So m equals to 7. Alright, this is integration. If you don't understand any integration, then yeah, you please go check out the basic of integration. Okay, so let me move on to the next one. Okay, Ahmad invests the RMP in a business. His investment increased at the rates of dp dt equals to 2t plus 242, where t is the time in a year. It's given the initial investment is 2,000. Okay, so I will say P0 is 2,000 initial. So that's mean when t equals 0. So find the number of years so the investment become twice of the initial investment. So the question says this is when P equals to 4,000, right? Because initially you invest 2,000, must be twice of amount, so should be 4,000. So in order to get P equal to 4,000, now we have a big problem here is we do not have the equation of P. But we know we can easily get P by integrate dp dt, right? So I will integrate 2t plus 242. So if I integrate this one, I should get t squared plus 242t plus c. And I can find c easily because I have this information. I will plug in here. So when t equals 0, p equals 2,000. So I know my c equals to 2,000 plus 242t plus 2,000. So I have this equation. I will sub in back into the equation p here. Then I will solve it. Plus 2,000 equals to 4,000. So I will get t squared plus 242t minus 2,000 equals to 0. And then I will just try to factorize this one. Yeah, I will use the help of calculator. I'm so lazy to count manually. 1,242 negative 2,000. So you should get t minus 8 and t, or t plus 250. Then t equals to 8 or t equals to negative 250. Since the t is a time, so I will reject the negative value. Okay, so I hope you can actually understand how to solve this kind of questions. So yeah, so find number of years, so the investment will be twice. So after 8 years, it actually you will get twice the amount. Yeah, how to get c equals to 2,000? Okay, we gotta skip some step here. You imagine I sub in p equal to 2,000, t equal to 0, 0 plus 242 times 0, 0 plus c. Then 0 plus 0 plus c equal to 2,000, is it equal to c equals to 2,000? So with c equal to 2,000, I sub into this equation, then I get c equal to 2,000. Just sub in t equals to 0 into the equation, you should get c equals to 2,000. No, when initial displacement mean initial investment mean whenever I see the word initial mean t equals 0, mean at the very beginning, the time haven't start to count, I already have 2,000. It's not t equals to 1. T equals to 1 means after 1 year. That after 1 year, then t only equals to 1. So initial always mean t equals 0. Alright. How to get 4,000? Because the question says must be twice of its investment. It's over here. twice of its investment, initial investment. Initial investment is 2,000, twice of it is 4,000. Yep. Okay, number 16. If the root of the quadratic equation is alpha and alpha plus 2, express R in terms of Q. So yeah, we need to do S or R and P or R. Sum of root tell me is negative Q, right? Product of root tell you is R. Yeah, you should know about this, right? Yeah, just in case some students have totally lost over here. This is a general equation of quadratic. Sum of root always mean negative b over a. Product of root always means c over a. This is sort of the formula. So therefore, in this case, a is 1. So therefore, I will get negative q over 1. Okay, this one is just r over 1. Alright, sum of root, that means both root I plus together, right? So 2 alpha plus 2 equals to negative q. So my alpha will equals to negative q minus 2 over 2. So product of root, that means alpha multiply alpha plus 2, right? So alpha squared plus 2 alpha equals to r. Since I want r in terms of q, so I will not move my r. I just sub in here. I just sub in my alpha into this equation. Negative q minus 2 over 2. Alright, then I will expand this one. Q squared plus 4q plus 4 over 4 plus negative q minus 2. Then I will just solve this one. So this is q squared over 4 plus q plus 1 minus q minus 2. So this one should be minus out minus 1. Alright, not too hard. So r actually equals to q squared over 4 minus 1. So far so good. I hope, yeah, this is a simple question. Alright, so let's move on to the next part. Diagram 4 show the graph of the quadratic function. So you have the quadratic function. So over here, what is the type of root here? So obviously this is two distinct root. Or you can say it's two different root, the same words. Because you can, what's the meaning of root? Root means answer of x, right? So answer of x, so in this case, how do I see the answer of x? Answer of x always means the fx equals to fx or y equals to 0. Okay, so this one means what? This one means x-intercept. So therefore, if my x-intercept over here is two different answers, that means it's two distinct roots. So I hope you actually can understand. So find the range of x when fx less than 0. This is, okay, so this is fx equal to 0. Fx equal to 0 is this line, okay? This is fx equals to 0, which is x-axis. When less than 0 means going below here. So you can see the graph for fx less than 0, the p value actually going this direction, the alpha value is going this direction. So this one called what? Beta must be, x value, my x value must be bigger than beta. This one, my x value must be less than alpha. So therefore, x is less than alpha, x is bigger than beta. Right. Find a range which is not possible for the value of a. Okay, because of this equation, you know this is the maximum graph, right? Because it's shared m. So in order to get an n kind of graph, your a must be negative, right? Your a must be negative, then only you can get the maximum graph. So therefore, not possible is the a is bigger than 0. Bigger or equal to 0, a cannot be equal to 0. Yeah, a must be negative. So a cannot be bigger or equal to 0. Alright, so far so good. Can I explain part B again? Okay, so the range values of x. So they want the range value of x when fx is less than 0. So you just need to understand when fx equals to 0 is an x-axis. When less than 0 means below the x-axis. That means they ask the value of x, right? Means like how the curve will move on, how the curve will go when he below the x-axis. So you can see the pattern of the curve going. So let's say I give a beta a number. I say this is 5. This is 1 example lah. Just give a random number. Okay, so if beta is 5, so we know below x value here, this value definitely the x is bigger than 5, right? Maybe it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If keep on going, you see the x value is increasing, right? So the only thing we know is then the x must be bigger than 5. So if this is 1, right, you can see this value going this direction, right? It can be something like 0.5, 0.2, 0, -1, -2, -3. You can see the x value is decreasing, right? So the x value must less than 1, right? If have the number lah. But if without a number, we will just assume when below the x-axis, which is fx less than 0, the x value must be less than alpha, or the x value must be bigger than beta. This is what I understand when fx is less than 0. Yeah, you need to able to understand it from the graph itself. Okay, so let me move on. Yeah, 7 more questions. So this diagram actually show the curve equation with the turning point is 3, 6 and m and n is a x-intercept. Alright, so first thing is you need to able to identify this equation. This is completing the square. Okay, it's completing the square. So, and then completing the square, the value in front of it is a. You don't see any value in front of the bracket square, right? That means the a is equals to 1. Because normally we have a 1 number is in front of the bracket square. Alright, so okay, they ask you to find the coordinate of n. It's very easy because this is parabola graph, right? Middle, this one is axis symmetry. This is x equals to 3. So from 1 to 3, here is 2 units. So here need to be 2 units. So therefore, my n is just 50. So if you really want to do a working for it, yeah, you can do that. You can do something like 1 plus x over 2 equals to 3. Then you get x equals to 5 lah. If you want to do the working, you can use a midpoint formula. But actually this one do not need to do that. Alright, then find the value of p and q. So in order to find the value of p, right, because this one a is supposedly, if without the modulus, right, a is positive. This one supposedly it should look like this. It should look like this pattern. Yeah, this is how your graph should look like, because modulus actually just reflection on the x-axis. So the minimum value over here is still the same 3 and -6. Why I will get -6? Because here is symmetry. There must be same length over here. So 6 to 0 is 6 units. From 0 to -6 is also 6 units here. So because of this, from here, if we ignore about the modulus line over here, I should get something like x minus 3 square minus 6. This one is I get from my minimum point here. Then I just doing the comparing. I know my p value should equals to 3. And my q plus 1 over here, q minus 1 over here should equals to -6. Then my q equals to -5. Alright, this is how I get my p and q by understanding the graph over here. Alright, so they ask you to find a turning point for this one. This is what exactly I said just now. This is x minus 3 square. Q we know is -5, right? -6. So your turning point should be 3 and -6. Okay, it's very easy. Okay, question number 19 over here. Why -6? Yeah, because if you understand this graph, okay, because of the modulus sign, they actually do the reflection. Anything below the x-axis, they're going to reflect on the top here. So this is the reason why you will get a 6 here. So you just imagine the distance from 6 to 0. Here is 6 units, right? So I want to know the curve before the reflection. So here will be another 6 units, isn't it? So therefore, from 0 go down 6 units, this one should be -6, right? This is how I get a -6. Okay, let me move on. Table 2 show the number of words typed per minute in the candidates in typing test. Find the range number of word per minute. Okay, normally we know we want to find a range is we use the maximum value minus the minimum value. And for this part, I actually got a different answer with marking scheme, but I will explain my logic. But normally this pattern I will use on the ungrouped data, mean the data without the table. Right, so if you have the table, normally I want to find a range, right? I will use the upper boundary of the maximum value minus the lower boundary of the minimum value. Yeah, I guess this is how I will do this. So in this case, this one is for group data. Okay, so in this case, the maximum value is 94. So I will do 94.5 minus lower boundary of the minimum value. Minimum value is 34, right? Lower boundary of it will be 34.5. So if you minus it, you should get the range between them will be 60. Alright, this is how we find the range for this one. I even doubt my answer, so I went to Google it. So yeah, so they show this formula as well. So I guess this is how we do it. Sir, no sir, must use 94 minus because this one is discrete. Yeah, because I realize there's no way you type 0.1 words, right? But I'm not so sure about this one. Yeah, I know that the answer actually show is 50. Yeah, but then yeah, this one I'm not so sure. But then if I do this one, I will just use the upper boundary of the maximum value minus the lower boundary of the minimum value. I'm not sure can you use the 94 minus 35. I think this one is not about is this discrete or not discrete in this case, because the purpose of boundary is to get the very accurate estimation. So I guess you have to use boundary in this case, but you can double confirm by asking your teacher. If I do this one, I will just use the boundary to do this. Yeah, because unless it's ungrouped data, then I will just take 94 minus 35. Yeah, so or else I will use the boundary in order to get the very accurate. Of course, if you do like this, you will get 59. The answer difference between us is 1. But boundary, the purpose of boundary is for us to get a very accurate range. So I guess I will use the boundary to do this. Alright, so I move on to the next one. It is found that 50% of the candidate passed the typing test. 15%, that means half of the student passed. In this topic, when I see half, I will think about median. So in order to do the median, we know we have the median formula, right? M equals to L plus N over 2 minus F over Fm multiplied C. Okay, but in order to do the median, we need to know which one is the median class. So over here we have 40 candidates. So I will just do the m plus 1 divided by 2, right? TH. So it's basically giving me 20.5 TH. So I want to know where is my 20.5. So therefore this I will plus this one is 11. And then 11 plus 13. 11 plus 13 is 24. So my 20.5 is located below here. So I'm going to call this class as the median class. So if this one is the median class, then I will start doing from this one. So first thing is, what is the lower boundary here? Lower boundary here is 54.5. So I sub in the 54.5 plus n is 40, right? 40 over 2 minus capital F is a cumulative frequency before this class. These two plus together is 11. Frequency of the median class, which is 13. So I take the 13. So in order to get the class size, right? Class size we will use the upper bound minus lower bound of the class limit. So I will do, in order to get the C, right, I will take the 64.5 minus 54.5. So my class size should be 10. So therefore, this one should be 10. So I will use the calculator to find what is my median score first. Then only I can know the mailing managed to pass or not. Because the mailing actually step the 60 word per minute, right? So if I median value I get like 59, then that means the mailing will pass. If I median value go beyond 60, that means the mailing will fail, because half of the student will pass and half of the student will fail. Right now, what I want to know is, I want to know where is the half. So I will just type in the calculator. So 20 minus 11 divided by 13 multiply 10 plus 54.5. This one is 61.42. So that means over here, let's say 61.42 is my median value. Any person above 61.42 is pass. Any student below 61.42 will be fail. So in this case, mailing only type 60 words per second. So the mailing will fail the test. Okay, so this is how we get the pass and fail thing. Alright, so yeah, because 50% is a median. Because I checked the marking scheme. The marking scheme actually used the upper bound, but then I see the working they are still using the median formula. So I guess maybe some typing error in the marking scheme there. So, and median formula, I don't think you need any midpoint for median formula. Range, normally range, in order to find range, we don't use the midpoint to find range. Yeah, if in SPM, I think you should use my way to find the range, even though I'm not 100%, but then actually I teach the statistic in higher level. This is how I teach them. Maybe SPM, then they don't need so accurate, then you can use the 94 minus 35 lah. But you please double confirm with your teacher. So why 41? Where do I get 41? Oh, how I get a 41 over here? Yeah, because in order to get a median class, right, I always will do something like n plus 1 over 2 th to find where is my median class. But I guess a lot of you actually will do something like 40 divided by 2. I guess in this case should be still okay. Alright, so let's move on to question 20. It's given a vector PQ is h plus 3i plus 5j, and h is a constant. Calculate the value of h if the magnitude is 13. So in order to get a magnitude, is very easy, right? You will take the I square plus the j number of j square equals to 13 square. Just solve this one. H square plus 6h plus 9 plus 25 equals to 169. So h square plus 6h, this one will be 9 plus 25 minus 169 minus 135 equals 0. Then you will just factorize this one to find the h value. 135 I guess can divide by 15, right? 9. So it should be 15 and 9. This one should be plus and minus. So h is equal to negative 15 or h equals to 9. I think the SPM marking scheme shouldn't have error, because I heard the SPM marking scheme actually checked by a lot of teachers. So the marking scheme things, the marking scheme have error, typing error is very least chance to happen. So do we need to square root 13? You don't need to do that. Of course, you want to do, you can add the square root to this side, but then you still need to move the square root back to the other side. So I guess there's not much different over there. Okay, so yeah, it's hang for a while. I don't know why. Okay, so let me move on to question 21 here. Yeah, for some students who do not know how to find the magnitude, I give you some example. X equals to xi plus yz. So if I want to find the magnitude of A, it's the square root of x squared plus y squared. This is how we get a magnitude. So basically magnitude means the length. They want to find the length of the vector A. Alright, so question 21 here. So the diagram 6 shows the semicircle of the center with the radius r. Given the length of the arc ABC is 15 pi, so we know the length of ABC is 15 pi. And the angle is 2.5 radian. So they ask you to calculate the area. So this is semicircle. Semicircle, I know the formula is pi r, right? Pi r is 15 pi. So r is equals to 15. So after I got my r, I want to find the area of shaded region. Area of shaded region will be half r squared theta, right? My r is 15 square. Theta, the angle here will be pi is 180, right? Minus 2.5. So it's pi minus 2.5. And in order to get a very accurate, since they give me pi value, I will insert the pi value, minus 2.5. Then I just type everything into the calculator. I should get very accurate answer. So yeah, I should get 72.225. Alright, this kind of circular measure equation is quite easy. So semicircle is how many radian? Yeah, the question is a bit weird. Okay, depend. You want to find area of semicircle, or you want to find the circumference of semicircle. So normally I just tell you the angle for 180 degree equals to pi lah. That means whole 180, or you can call it 180 degree. So this is the reason why you see I use the pi to minus 2.5. Alright, so I'm going to move on to question 22 here. Why your radius is 15? Okay, because we know the circumference for the whole circle will be 2 pi r, isn't it? Yeah, c will equal to 2 pi r. This is a math formula. Half of the circle, that's mean divide 2, right? So this is the reason why you see I do the pi r equals to 15 pi. Because this is half of the circle. Yeah, they say the arc length ABC, right? Arc length ABC is 15 pi. So I do the pi r equals to 15 pi. And then I simplify it, I get the r equals to 15. Okay, so let's move on. So it's given a sum of the first n term of the arithmetic progression. So the AP, you have a formula of that. So you want to find the first term, just do sum of first term. S1, I just find S1. 7,1. So you will get -5. So this is A. Alright, then they ask about common difference. So common difference, I will find S2 first. S2 you should know is basically mean T1 plus T2. This is S2, alright? So I use the formula. So 2 squared minus 7, 2. So this one will be 8 minus 14. So it's -6. But this one is the first term plus the second term, right? So I got my first term, which is A, is -5. Plus T2 equals to -6, right? So my second term is -1. So in order to get a common difference, we have to use the second term minus the first term, right? So I will do the -1 minus -5. So my common difference should be 4. Alright, this is how I get a common difference. This kind of question is very easy. So let me move on to question 24. Okay, so this is a 3 term for the GP. So find the possible value of x. So for GP, we always can do something like T2 over T1 equals to T3 over T2, right? So this is the R formula. So therefore, I will do 5x over 4 equals to 16 over 5x. I mean 5x. So therefore, I cross over multiply, I get 64. then x squared equals to 64 over 25. Then x should equals to square root of positive negative 64 over 25. Then x should equals to positive negative 8 over 5. So therefore x is equals to negative 8 over 5 or 8 over 5. Alright, this is how to do the part A. It's quite simple if you understand the basic concept of GP. Alright, so the sum of the first 10 terms, if all terms are positive. So if all terms are positive, I cannot use the negative 8 over 5. So I'm going to use the positive 8 over 5 to sub in here. So this is 8 over 5, 16. So 5 and 5 I simplify is 4, 8, 16. So from here, I know my A equals to 4, my R equals to 2. Because 8 divided by 4, I get 2. So since the R is bigger than 1, my formula for using for Sn in this topic will be Rn minus 1 over R minus 1. So therefore, in order to do the S10, sum of the first 10 term, A is 4, 2 power of 10 minus 1 over 2 minus 1. Then you tap into the calculator, you should be able to get the correct answer easily. So you should get 4092. So you forgot question 23. Oh my god, I accidentally forgot the question number 23. Okay, so yeah, let's come back to question 23 here. So the Mooney has 200 in the saving box and the 31st of May. So the next day of 31st of May, which is the 1st of June 2018, the Mooney actually add 4 ringgit daily into the box to buy the mobile phone. So on the 1st of July, I mean the next month, the first day of next month, he take out all the money and went to town to buy his mobile phone. He used 50 ringgit for the bus ticket, 30 ringgit for the lunch, and still have 40 ringgit left. So how much the price of the mobile phone? Of course, this kind of question, actually, I will just use a simple way to do it. Because I know, first thing is, I know the June basically have 30 days. Alright, so each day you save the 4 ringgit. So the June saving is basically just 4 times 30. You will get 120. So total saving 120 plus your initial. June you save 120, right? So your total saving plus the initial 200, you should get 320 ringgit, right? So in order to know how much is the phone, I have Rn 320, and then I will minus my bus ticket, I will minus my lunch, and then I minus my leftover, which is 40 ringgit. Then I will get my answer straight away from here. So 85, right? 320 minus 85. Then I will get the final answer is 235. Alright, this is just use a common sense to do. Of course, if I know this one is an AP question, if I use the AP way to do, yeah, I can do that. Okay, so I'm going to use the AP way. So the first day, on the 1st of June here, because your saving box already have 200, right? On 1st of June, next day, it should be 204, right? So the next day, following day, you should be 208, right? Because you keep on saving 4 ringgit. So the next one will be 212, right? So you will keep on saving. This is the day 1, this is the day 2, then this one is day 3. So I know June total have 30 days, right? So therefore, I will find T30. T30 equals to A plus N minus 1, which is 29. TD is 4. Then I can know end of the June, how much I already saved. So I already saved 320. And then you use the 320 to minus your other expenses. Then you should get the same answer with mine also. So do we find T31? First day of June is not count. Let's read the question one more time. Actually, what's wrong with my computer? Because it keeps lagging here. case, because he said on the 1st of July, that means after end of the June, the next day he already take out all the money already. That means on the 1st of July, the person doesn't put another 4 ringgit into it. He already take out the money to go out to buy the food already. So therefore, I will do T30 only. I will not do T31. Alright, so let's move on to the last questions here. Right, this question, I think the question itself should have the typing error here. So yeah, because what? Because okay, I explain my logic first. So the mass of the apple from an Oscar has a normal distribution with the mean 150 and standard deviation of 20. The first sentence is fine. Mean is 150, standard deviation is 20. So the apple have the mass of 150 plus W. So some value are labeled. Okay, the apple with the mass more than 150 plus W will label with L, while the apple with the mass less than 150 plus W will label M. So and then they say if 80% of the apple from the Oscar are neither L or M, find the value of W. Okay, because based on this question, if both also if 150 plus W, I give some value here. Example 50 plus W is here. Well, I mean 150 plus W is here. So if more than here, they're going to label L. Less than it, they're going to label M. But at the end, they say 80% is none of them, not L and not L. It's not L and not L, that means it's 0 already. Because L and M include everything. So I guess, so from my guessing here, actually I think this is not what they want. I think they're trying to say is something like this. They're trying to say is something like this. So let's say this is K and this is negative K. I just use the K to represent it. So that means if you more than this K value, here is A, here is L. When you less than this K value here, then you will get M. It's none of them, that means something on the middle. That means neither of them is 0.8 here. Yeah, I guess this is what they're trying to say, and then I went through the marking scheme. So I guess this is what they're trying to do. So therefore these two value cannot be the same. If these two value is the 150 plus W is the same value, then it's not possible to get the 80%. So therefore, in order to get the answer of marking scheme, actually I modify a little bit here. So what I will do is I will call this one is 150 plus W, and this one should be 150 minus W. Okay, and then so therefore the 0.8 here, I know it should be the value X here is between the 150 minus W, 150 plus W. Okay, so from P I change to Z value here. I need to minus 150, right? So you just imagine 150 minus W. I need to minus 150 over 20. This one is just minus mean over standard deviation. 150 minus 150, I get negative W over 20. So this one, I'll do the same thing. I'll get W over 20. So that means these two value over here is W over 20 and negative W over 20. So, of course, it's equal to 0.8. But then 0.8, you know you can't find the table, right? Because your table only up to 0.5. So there's no way you can find 0.8 here. So, but then because if these two is a symmetry, I know my L here should be 0.1. This one will be 0.1. Because how I get 0.1? I use 1 to minus 0.8 and then I divide it by 2. So therefore, because of this, I can actually say this area, I focus on this area because at the end I just want to find W. So I can say for Z is bigger than W over 20 should equal to 0.1. So from here, I will just solve what is my W value. And you just find your table here. But I guess maybe you're not able to see clearly about the table here. So from this table over here, you just need to find the W value from here. Because you want to find the W value from here. What I say? I say you want to find the 0.1 from here. So I will just find from you. The 0.1 should be 1.281. So therefore W over 20 equals to 1.281. So therefore I can get the W value should be 1.281 times 20. So my final answer should be 25.62. Okay, so this is how I do the last question. I modify a little bit question here, and I'm so sorry a lot of you I'm so sorry I see a lot of the students here talk nonsense. I mean, maybe tomorrow if a lot of students talking nonsense here, I will just like block them from the chat room, because it actually quite disturbs some other students as well. Alright, so any question here? Are you 100% sure about your answer, sir? Yeah. Okay. In order to get this answer, because I actually checked the marking scheme actually show this answer, and you ask, am I 100% sure about my answer? If I want to get this answer, yes, I'm 100% sure. But because this question, there's so many possibility. I mean, if you want to modify the question, we can modify the question in many ways. So yeah, so if you give me a question with no problem, then maybe I can work out something else. Yeah. So yeah, I will discuss the paper 2 tomorrow. It's about 8 p.m. I hope. So turning point actually means the maximum point or minimum point. We call turning point. What is the difference between group data and ungroup data? The group data basically means the data into the table. You will see a frequency equals to 135 or something. You will see the frequency value there. Ungroup data means don't have table one. Your number is just random 5, 10, 15. Yeah, that one is called ungroup data. Can we do multiple answer if we are not confident with our first answer? I heard some student told me what his teacher told him. They say they can accept up to 4 answers, then they will mark the correct one as long as you don't do the hashtag. But I actually heard this kind of news like many years ago, but I'm not 100% sure. So if possible, you just do the correct one. If you really no confident, maybe you write both lah. I hope the examiner will mark the correct one. How come Z less than W over 20 become Z more than? Yeah, for over here, what I'm doing here is I basically apply the formula into Z equals to X minus mean over standard deviation. So therefore, both of this value here, I actually minus 150 divided by 20. This is why I get both of this. Because I'm trying to get the value between mean is neither, mean is, okay, this part is L and this part is M, right? The question says neither L nor N nor M. So that means I want to find the part not L and not M. So that means it's the middle value, right? So therefore these two signs is X is between these two values is given by my cell one. Okay, so yeah, I hope actually you can understand. If you do not understand, maybe you rewatch it. So yeah, I don't really understand about dy dx fx and find the integration of fx. Okay, for the integration part, You just need to understand when you have 1 dot x, in order to find the fx, right, you just, because when I integrate 1 prime x, I getting fx. If I integrate the 2 dot here, I actually get 1 dot fx plus c lah. Definitely both need to plus c. Yeah, this is what happened, because when fx, I differentiate the fx here, I actually get 1 dot. So therefore, when I add the integration sign for both sides, mean I actually integrate d dx, I can cancel out, right? So I getting back fx. Yeah, this is just some sign thing, because they just don't straight away give you dy dx. It's too simple already, so they do give you some f prime x like that. So should I do the linear law or circular measure? For me, both of these topic you should do, because both is very easy, linear law and circular measure. In order to find half angle of tangent, you need to work out half angle. You need to work out the half angle for sine over the half angle for cos. Yeah, you just need to work out the half angle for sine and half angle of cos, and then you divide them, then you will get half angle of tangent. So the d2y and dx squared is to find what on graph? The second derivative, d2y and dx squared, is help you to determine which point is maximum and minimum. Because when dy dx equals to 0, right, you can get maximum or minimum, you do not know which one. How to decide which one is maximum or minimum? You need to differentiate again. Yeah, so this is a reason why you have to use the second derivative. Alright, so yeah, I hope I will just stop here. So, and then I also heard a lot of students, you please do not disturb on the chat here, because a lot of students here, they want to learn. Alright, I will see you guys tomorrow, and all the best, do more practice, and yeah, tomorrow we will do the paper 2. Yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Bye. See you. Good night.